All right, back in the field and on the home stretch of planting wheat. We got about 180 acres of wheat left to plant. That rain that came in the other night, it knocked us out of the field 2 days. I was hoping to get back out here late last evening, but right as we got ready to go to the field, had another band of rain come through. Wasn't even forecast, but totally unexpected. But it knocked us out for the rest of the day yesterday, we weren't able to plant wheat this morning because it's still a little too sticky, but we still had a productive morning on the Saturday morning. We got some temperatures in the 20s coming in tonight, so had some things we had to winterize. We got our cotton picker drained to water, all the tips and everything blown out. Got our sprayer parked in the shop and got our water wagon winterized and parked. We didn't winterize our water truck because it's got 3-inch lines on there and it's not going to get cold enough to freeze 3-inch lines, I hope anyway. And after we got that done, we went ahead and got our corn maze cut, got that out of the way. It definitely wasn't going to stand much longer. It did not look too good, and all the tops and everything had been blown out of a lot of it, and then everybody walking through the corn maze had, all the people walking through the corn maze had taken its toll on it. So while we had a few hours, definitely wanted to go ahead and get that knocked out. Just like last year, we used our draper header on it because we'd already gotten our corn head cleaned up, and it did a pretty good job. It actually yielded fair, not quite as good as last year. I think it averaged about 100 bushels an acre. I mean, we lost some ground from the paths being cut out. We lost some from being blown down. We lost a bunch because it was planted so late. It was planted June 1st, and that June 1st planted corn in West Tennessee doesn't do real well. But here's the main thing. All right, now corn harvest is officially done. So because of all that, we didn't get started out here planting lunch till after wheat. I want to get the rest of this Ed Smith farm done. Got about 36 acres left on this farm, and then I'd like to get the Hart farm done. We got about 30 acres done up there, and then tomorrow I want to get most of Windy City done, 56 acres there, but I got to leave out a spot for the test plot. And I'd like to get Campbell Home Place done. Got 29 acres there. Get that done on Sunday, and then that way on Monday, all we like is the test plot for Pioneer and University of Tennessee, and then the Baker farm, which I would like to already have that done, but the chicken litter hadn't been spread on it. That's the only farm that hadn't been spread yet, but guy promises me he'll be out there first thing Monday morning. So hopefully by early afternoon on Monday we'll have all the wheat wrapped up, and not a moment too soon, because today is November 13th, tomorrow is going to be the 14th, and Monday is going to be November 15th, which is the last day we can get full insurance coverage on our wheat. After November 15th, we still pay the same premium price, but we don't get the same insurance guarantee in case we have a loss. So definitely want to get that done by the 15th and get full coverage on all our insurance. So anyway, there ain't much else to talk about other than what I've already covered a lot of stuff in previous wheat planting videos. So anyway, I wanted to take a few minutes and enjoy the first quarter of the University of Tennessee and University of Georgia football game. I really have my doubts if there's going to be much enjoying the second, third, and fourth quarters. Keep my fingers crossed, but don't really expect to have a really great showing against the #1 team in the land. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. So, hey, 26 acres down, ready for another 26 acres worth of seed. In other news, Vols are playing lights out. I think we're only down. They're only down 3 points, almost halftime, or maybe we're down a touchdown. Anyway, they keeping it close. They giving Georgia a run for the money today. Well, apparently we can't keep filling up with seed because someone stole the rest of the gas out of the back of my truck, and my seed tender is now out of gas. So I'm going to have to wait for Kelly to bring me some. Hopefully she answers her phone. So in the meantime, enjoy this beautiful sunset.
Back and I'll put this on the water truck because that's the one off of there. And fill it up and then we should have enough. I hope.
I got about 10 acres left here, and then I need to run out at least 7 acres over on the Hart farm in order to be able to have enough to finish up over there.
Do you not see that?
Yeah, Kelly, I want to get back to planting. I don't want this to be a midnight night tonight.
You gotta stop and look at the sunset every now and then, dude.
I've been staring at the sunset for the last 30 minutes because I didn't have any gas in the truck.
Okay, so just text me and let me know.
I'll let you know. Thank you.
So at least I got what, an hour to get dinner done at least?
Oh yeah. I mean, you got 2 hours before I'll absolutely need seed.
Well, Carter's going to the movies with his friends, so
okay.
I'm trying to get them fed before. I made chili. Is that okay?
Fine with me. And just like that, it's dark again. Oh well, got another 26 acre seed in the box. It's getting chilly. Ready to get back in the warmth of this tractor. Woo! It's gonna be a cold one tonight. Alright guys, only a few more rounds over here on the Hart farm, and then a trip back to Ed Smith's where my truck is, and we'll be able to go home and get some shut-eye. One more long night, almost in the books. Only got a few more left in the season though. Oh, I can't wait. 2 nights ago was the first night in 2 weeks that I'd actually gotten to sit down at the dinner table at dinner time with my family and enjoy a hot supper. And let me tell you, that's something I've missed. I'm ready for that to start happening every night and quit spending all these late nights out here in the field. I am so ready to put the finishing touches on this season here. I'll be sure to bring y'all along for the ride along tomorrow morning. Hopefully should be the last full day of planting wheat. Out here bright and early this morning, trying to get these test plots laid off that I'm going to plant tomorrow for University of Tennessee and Pioneer. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now, getting close to getting done on this wheat planting, and starting to get a little concerned about the seed situation. I got all my seed out there at the office on a fertilizer tender that Helena brought out so I could work all weekend. Problem is, I don't know exactly how much seed is left on there. I got a scale on my grain cart, but it only holds about 10,000 pounds. The way I got it calculated, I should have enough seed, but it's going to be tight. Probably going to have to use a little bit of this test plot seed from tomorrow to finish up. Problem is with a drill, there's no kind of overlap control or anything, so I mean, you're planting a full 20 feet regardless if you've already planted there or not. and in our odd-shaped fields, that tends to mean quite a bit of overlap. And when figuring out how much seed you got left versus how many acres you got left, you really don't know how much overlap you're going to have. So last thing I want to do is get to that last field and have like an acre left and don't have any seed, and I'm not about to buy a 40 bushel box of bulk seed just to plant 1 acre. Last year we was able just to skirt by, and I mean we literally ran out of seed on the last pass. This year will surprise me if I'm that fortunate. Well, the ball game last night went about like what I expected. Well, I was excited, I was screaming, I was dancing for joy that first quarter. And then we had to play the second, third, and fourth quarters. Old Tennessee just don't have enough horses yet to compete in the race. They put on a really good showing. They gave Georgia fits from time to time, but just don't quite have the horses yet to compete in the big race. I'm still proud of my Vols this year. They're night and day difference better than what they were last year. I'm really happy with Coach Heupel and the job he's done, the way he's coached guys up. That's something we haven't seen in 12 years since Lane Kiffin was our coach, was the actual coaching up of players and them performing beyond what they would be expected to perform. So really proud of my Vols. There is a glimmer of hope in the future. Right over here on the Windy City farm, this is where we had to replant some of our cotton to soybeans. So about half of the field is in, about half the field is going to be behind cotton. The other half is going to be behind soybeans. And why that's significant is because soybeans produce their own nitrogen, whereas cotton does not. And well, we're following it with a grass wheat, which loves nitrogen. So soybeans should have quite a bit of residual nitrogen left in the soil to provide for the wheat crop, whereas the cotton ground does not have a lot of residual nitrogen left over in the ground. So I would definitely expect the wheat plant behind the soybeans to definitely start off greener and probably look better all winter long. The key is going to be to see if there's any kind of yield difference on the yield map come next June when we harvest it. In my experience, the wheat planted behind the soybeans will yield just a little bit better as opposed to wheat planted behind cotton. However, the biggest difference in moneymaker is that the double crop soybeans planted after the wheat crop usually almost always do better planted behind the cotton rather than the soybeans, because you're following soybeans with soybeans, and you got a little bit of extra disease, pathogens, that sort of stuff that typically dings up the soybean crop a little bit. So anyway, this is going to be a really good test plot field for next year, just to compare some rotation differences and everything else. So really going to be interesting to see what the results are next year. Well, I just happened to be up flying the drone, me planting, and I saw 2 module trucks go by, and the last farm that we picked is about a mile down the road. It is now official. All of our cotton is now out of the field and at the gin. They picked up the last 3 modules. Tell you what, this new drone has got a zoom camera on there that really makes it handy filming stuff like that from far away. I was able to get a shot of them picking the modules up from my present location, which was pretty neat. Resolution's not the best, but still pretty neat. I also mentioned in a previous video, how screwed up this year has been weather-wise and how it screwed up the physiology of the plants. And I commented how, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, how fall wasn't even here. The leaves were still green as a gourd. Well, the leaves finally started changing about a few days ago, about 2 weeks later than what they should have. I don't know, I've really seen some trends in the weather that really kind of got me concerned as far as, a crop producer. What I've seen here, it's been like the last several years, and it seems to be getting a little worse or a little bit more consistent, is that the seasons that we've been used to here in West Tennessee are not the seasons we are experiencing now, and might not be the seasons we're experiencing going forward. You know, everything, it's like our seasons have shifted. You know, this year, spring was 2 to 3 weeks late. Summer was 2 to 3 weeks late. Fall was 2 weeks late. And now, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Winter might be late, but it's not just this year. It's been more pronounced this year. The leaves on the trees should have been changing right there at the end of October, very first November. We're now in the middle of November, and they're just now changing. The crop producer, you know, we kind of got to take that into consideration when, you know, deciding when to actually plant and stuff. And if our growing season is becoming more condensed, like it seems like it might be, that's a huge consideration on cotton going forward, because we're at the very northern latitude of where cotton is successfully grown, and we can't afford to give up any kind of growing season. You know, I talked extensively this year about DD60 accumulation and how we were short, how we were behind, and you know, it showed up in the cotton crop on not getting the DD60s that we needed. Well, I'm about ready for some serious R&R. Last night my tail was dragging between my legs, and it ain't doing much less dragging this morning. Just been running on adrenaline and coffee. But here shortly, I'm gonna have some really good opportunities to get a little rest and relaxation. I had the bright idea that we need to go somewhere pretty big for our anniversary, kind of a end of harvest celebration, anniversary thing combined. Need to splurge a little bit because we haven't been away anywhere big, just ourselves, in quite some time. So our anniversary is early February. Late January we're going to be taking a trip to Vegas. That's right, Vegas, baby. Not necessarily one of my favorite towns. I always feel, well, I've only been once, but kind of feel dirty after you leave there. But it does have some redeeming qualities. Last time we were there, I got sick and didn't get the opportunity to go see the Hoover Dam, so definitely gonna do that. We're gonna do a lot of good eating. No, I'm not gonna do any gambling. I do enough gambling all year long, but just walk around, see the sights, and get some relaxation. Really looking forward to spending some quality time with my wife. That should be a lot of fun. And then later on, about mid-February, I can't remember the exact dates, we will be attending, provided something doesn't happen with COVID, something crazy, which Lord knows that could happen, but provided that doesn't happen, we will be attending the Farm and Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky. We hadn't been there, we haven't been there in 3 years, I don't think. We always like going every other year just to see what's new out there. It's a lot of fun. So we'll be heading up there and doing that, unless something happens.